Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hawkins Hellfire Collective. This is Zach Grubb.
And Devin Grubb.
And today we are talking about Season 4, Episode 8, Papa.
This is the episode before the season finale.
Yep, this is the penultimate episode.
I was going to say
penultimate.
Penultimate, yes. I was going to say that, but it didn't feel right because it's not the final season yet. So it's like...
Well, it's the penultimate episode of what we have.
It is, but
yeah, you're right.
I know. I didn't feel appropriate to say.
Inappropriate.
It didn't feel appropriate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we just watched the latest episode of What We Do in the Shadows.
Well, it's not the latest one. I'm just kind of obsessed with...
Oh, you're right. It wasn't. It's just that much better.
Yeah, I'm just kind of obsessed with a little interaction between Laszlo and Guillermo.
Laszlo's the best character on the show. Anyway.
Wrong show. Let's get back to the task at hand.
Papa's all mad at 11 when, like, clearly she was manipulated into all this. Like, he's looking at an 8-year-old child. Like, what did you do? Dude, you...
Part
Come
of it,
on.
and, well, I think he's just mad she got rid of his, like, experimental boy.
Yeah, his first experiment.
Because it's like, oh no, now I can't, like, clone you people anymore. Because I don't have my main DNA boy.
A good time boy.
My good time boy. But anyway, and then it goes right to Nancy being Vecnud. And she sees Papa, tattooing Henry, and he's showing her all this stuff, and we also get, like, a fantastic Eddie moment. This is music.
Yeah, they're, like, they're trying to find music for Nancy. And they go through a bunch of the stuff she likes, and they mention Bowie. And I'm like, really? Yeah. Eddie doesn't have any Bowie?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. He's a metalhead, but, like, we were talking about it yesterday, and, like, I feel like everybody who likes music likes at least, like, one or two David Bowie songs. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of music you listen to.
Yeah, like, Bowie transcended genres.
Right, and not only that, like, Eddie's pretty dramatic, and so is Bowie, so, like...
You think there'd have been something.
There would have been a little clicky click between the two, but okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Get some Bowie, man.
So you mentioned how Vecna's showing Nancy all of these spooky things.
Yeah.
Like, why? He's so dramatic.
Right, like
he wants her to tell everyone about his plan.
He's dramatic and petty, because we talked about it last week, and, like, he clearly, if our theory about people who have trauma and, like, grief are the people that he's targeting, he could have easily have just used Nancy.
That's true, but we also have another theory on the possible link between his victims that I think we've already talked about once before, but we'll get into more later.
Okay. I don't remember, but that's fine. Oh, right. Yeah. We did talk about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're keeping secrets from you.
We just don't want to get into it right now, that's all. But, like, he does all of this. He's like, tell 11 about my plan. And he's all spooky and scary. He literally risks scaring them all away.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, maybe we shouldn't mess with this guy until 11 gets here. Like, that's the risk he creates by being extra spooky and dramatic.
He's so dramatic. Like, dude, like come on.
I guess he banked on Nancy being all gun-ho, which, fair play, dude. Same time, you go that hard, you're throwing a little unnecessary danger into your plan.
Right. Like, you really think Nancy's just gonna sit by and be like, okay, I have to wait for 11. We can't do anything.
Well, no, I don't, but, like...
No, I mean, with him. Like, do you really think that that's what she's gonna do? You were in her head because you, like, showed her the stuff with Barb.
I think we're on opposite sides of this.
I'm confused.
Yeah, we're on opposite sides of this. You're like, of course she's gonna come after you, and I'm like, you played this a little too hard. What if they were too scared to come after you?
Right, but neither of those, but she, I'm looking at it as he was in her head. He saw all this stuff, so he should know that she's not some, like, frail little bird who's gonna stand by and wait for her hero to save her.
I mean, if that's where your head's at, maybe that's exactly the point. Because them going after him is what opens up the chance to get Max.
That's true. That is true. But does he know that that's their plan?
I think by your logic, yes.
No, because they don't make that plan until after the fact.
But, like, I think he's banking on it.
I mean, that's totally possible since he's... But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's like, oh, tell the others. Like, but he wants to be...
Though. We both said that earlier. We both said that he was being like, tell the others. But he doesn't. He just says tell 11.
I thought he says tell the others.
No, he straight up... Because I remember we talked about it in the last episode.
Oh, no, you know what? He does tell 11 what you saw
exactly.
Here today.
That's why that stood out to me when we watched it. Because we talked about that before.
Yeah, because I thought he did. But no, he clearly is just like, tell 11 what you saw today.
So, like, do you not know that 11's in California?
I was just going to say, like, do you not know 11's not with them? Hasn't been for quite some time.
Or to your point, is it a play because he knows Nancy will be like, oh, we're going to go after him?
There's that, too. Because, you know, he's just like, you know, you want to, let's do this.
We need a season 5 villain monologue to tell us what his intentions were. This dude loves to monologue. I wouldn't be surprised. There's one thing we might actually get.
We get one in the next episode. He like full on monologues at 11 for like a while.
That's why the episode's 2.5 hours.
Oh, it's so long. Anyway.
Then we go
we're back to
in the
Russia.
USSR. Yeah.
There was a line that Joyce said that I like. I wrote it down. Because Hopper's like, why are you with Murray?
Oh,
and she's like,
I got the same line. Cause
okay, you can say it.
No, you can say the line, but he says to Joyce, you guys getting along?
And she's like, he's the Starsky to my Hutch. And I really like, because that kind of plays off of what we had said earlier with them being like, having their like good cop, bad cop routine.
Yeah.
But like, Joyce doesn't really know how to do it. She's just like the bully's little lackey.
Yep. I love it so much. Their dynamic keeps that story interesting up to this point.
Yeah. I have a note about that later on. And then the Demogorgon, you know.
Oh, he's running
gets
amok
out.
up in this prison.
He's running amok. He gets the soldiers. I mean, no great loss there. We don't even know who they are. But Hopper then finds the Demodog.
Yeah, because when they're shooting at the Demogorgon, like, it's wailing in pain, and all the other
things are right. The one that's like cut open on the slab, which is how they're creating them, is like wailing in pain.
So I actually had a question about that. Like, how are they making more Demogorgons? We know from the comic book that the big one was their first one. So this Demodog was like, it had to be their next one. It had to be their second one. And we know from season 1 that the Demogorgons, like, essentially turn people into cocoons.
Yeah.
And incubate inside of them. And, like, feed off of people.
Maybe. Oh, I had a...
Yeah, how are they, like, creating these things and, like, bringing them up?
Maybe all of the things that are in, like, those, like...
The tanks?
The tanks. Maybe they were, like... people at one point.
Does that work with like how Demogorgons are made?
I don't know, but like the people are like the incubators for them, so maybe they're eventually I don't know.
Well, I think they eventually throw them up the same way Will did, right? Or like they crawl their way out after they're like the yes. Will coughs his up. That's why my theory about Dart was that's why he was different. He didn't finish incubating. But, like, the people who die with the Demogorgons inside of them, it probably crawls out of their mouth.
Yeah.
Probably. We don't know. We've never seen it.
Yeah, we've never actually seen it come to be. I mean, I just thought, and that was a thought, but that was a weird thought. But I just, you know, I don't know how do things get cloned, you know? Like, Alexi might have known.
We would be getting pretty, for a show that's already sci-fi, we'd be getting pretty hardcore sci-fi if they were like successfully cloning in the 1980s. Right.
So this is something like I'm fine if they leave the Russia story behind for season 5 because I don't think we need it for what's happening.
No, I agree.
However, that should be answered.
Yeah, there's a bunch of weird little quirks of that story.
You were clearly experimenting on one. And maybe it's... Well, they do find all the particles. So maybe that's how it's working.
But the particles are just the Mind Flayer, right? That's all the particles.
It's not all of it, though. Is it all of it?
Well, it's the smoke.
Yeah.
The swirling smoke is like a piece of the Mind Flayer, which... How the hell did they get that?
Right, I don't...
Like, what? Where did that come from? They didn't have a portal in Russia.
How do they have that, and how are they making more?
Yeah, I feel like that was something that we weren't supposed to think too hard about. Like, they didn't want us to really question that. Because
they didn't have a portal in Russia. They were using it in Hawkins.
Right, and the Demogorgon in Russia was brought to Russia.
Yeah. So, unless they, grabbed a bunch last season that we didn't know about, but I highly doubt it, because the things that are in their little, incubator thingies are doing just that. They're incubating. They're not ready yet.
Right, they're not alive.
No,
because they're not feeling the pain that the other living one is.
Yeah.
It's very weird. I think that needs to be addressed in some way, shape, or form. I'm
okay with that. Even if that's just a gloss over.
Totally.
Just little bit of an answer as to how they did it, and then if it's mentioned prior and we just didn't know, please let us know. But I don't think it was.
I don't think so either, because we've been really diligent about our notes during this season.
Yeah.
And I didn't find anything that gets into that.
No.
And,
because we didn't know about other ones until this episode.
Yeah, and even that comic book that, tells the story of the Russian Demogorgon does not get into that.
Doesn't get into having other ones or anything like that, so who knows?
Yeah, very weird. And then it looks like they killed 11 again.
Well, because that's what they do when she's in the tank. They just let her go into...
shock her to life every time. They just let her
go into cardiac arrest every single time that she's in there.
I understand that this kid has superpowers, but, the amount of time she has had to be resuscitated at this point has definitely shaved years off of her life.
Yeah. Yeah. But Papa doesn't care.
No,
clearly he doesn't care. And we'll get into that. But she's got her powers back.
Yep, her memory of her mom brought her powers back.
She gets up immediately after being resuscitated and is like, I'm gonna lift this. And lifts the Nina tank.
Yeah, this is my test for myself. I'm gonna lift the whole tank.
Yeah. That's all that we get for that little bit, though, right?
Yeah.
Or do you have more?
No, that's all for that bit. But then, we cut to the Cali crew, and I'm like, all right, Mike's in this season.
Yeah, my note is, oh, goody, back to the California crew.
They are,
It's boring!
It's boring, and, I don't want to say they're underutilized, because I honestly feel like they get too much screen time in this season, because there's not enough going on with them.
They get a lot of screen time, but they're underutilized because there's not enough going on.
Yeah.
So, yes, they are underutilized. They have... that for people who have so much screen time, they should be doing more.
Yeah.
And they're not. And that's not on them.
And we do have this whole scene with Will and Mike, and it's really good. This whole scene is very good.
I call it celebration.
Is that a deep cut? Are we old enough for that to be considered a deep cut?
Wedding Crashers?
Yeah, hon.
Maybe. I don't know. Is it from 2003?
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's 20 years old. I guess it's
That's
a deep
cut now. Oh, the joy of being 34.
We've just aged ourselves. We age ourselves every time we talk. Every time we record, we age ourselves. 2005. Okay.
That's slightly better.
So it's 18. My bad.
So okay, maybe we didn't age ourselves. An 18-year-old movie.
Hold up. Children who were born in 2005 are 18?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
You okay?
I feel like 2005 was yesterday. Anyway.
Yeah.
I also have a note here besides that Will is a good friend and Mike doesn't deserve him.
No, nobody deserves Will. And it seems like this is when Jonathan finally snaps out of his, like, pot-induced haze. Yeah. I have nothing against smoking weed. I really don't.
No, but...
Like, I feel like I'm always ragging on him for being high, but
because
like...
it was them making him that way...
Like a burnout.
...was a detriment to his character. Because it took away from how he was as a brother to Will. From season 1 on, he has always been the big brother who is there to protect Will. And I feel like in this season, he's not.
He shows up at the end.
Right, at the end. He's been like absentee brother who's been there. You know, he's been there, but he's just like, oh, you know, my life, I'm high, Nancy, meh, meh, meh. Like, there's other things that going on in your life right now, dude.
Like, he becomes so self-absorbed when he moves to California. Mm-hmm. I guess that's just what moving to Cali does to you. Joking. Seriously. But, like, he becomes so self-absorbed when he goes to California. Like, why did that happen? Like, what led to that character development?
Right.
Just did being away from Nancy turn him into, like, this self-absorbed jerk?
Right.
Like, that doesn't even make sense because that's not who he was before her.
No. He was just kind of a loner kid. So, you know, if anything, if we're going to go to before, he would have just been, like, a loner in California.
Yeah.
You know? So. But, yeah, he kind of has, like, a little moment of clarity. And it's the Jonathan that I wish we would have gotten all season.
Yeah, but if we did, there'd be no tension. So they just had to ruin his character in order to deal with this later.
I know.
It's not good.
I don't. We've talked about it before, so I'm not gonna, like, you know, beat the dead horse. But, like, Jonathan deserved better.
Yeah, in a season of really solid writing, Jonathan, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Everyone in California deserved better.
Will was great. Will was great this season.
But he was underutilized.
Underutilized, but like every scene he's in, he's killing it.
Yeah. So
Jonathan, Mike. I'm trying to think if anybody else really got the shaft here this season.
Not really.
Not really. Well, we talked about Robin being kind of flip-floppy between who her character was.
Yeah.
And again, I do not blame the actress. I blame the writing.
For being good writing, I don't like what they did with how they wrote those characters.
No, it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. I feel like they needed... We've talked about it before. With Robin, they already had a strong female lead in Nancy, and they needed to tone Robin down.
Yeah.
Which I don't agree with, because... You can have more than one strong female character.
Because they're two different kinds of strong female characters. Like, right. Robin is, like, the smart-ass, snarky, like...
But, like, even in all the Russia stuff in season 3, she's tough.
But, yeah, snarky, smart-ass, tough. And then you have Nancy, who is tough, but she's also very smart and clever and, like...
And will shoot you in the face.
Right. but they're two different kinds of tough girls. So Nancy and they should have been able to keep Robin the way that she was.
Yeah, and like there's glimmers of it through the season, but it's not consistent.
No.
Before we get too deep into that again, because I know we've talked about it before.
We have multiple times.
Jonathan notices Will's having trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Will is kind of letting out his feelings for Mike through Elle.
Yeah.
Saying that is how she feels. He's not technically wrong. He's just, hurting himself deeply by saying these things.
By saying it.
And then we get a cut back to 11 and the Nina Project. And this bothered me a lot. Because Papa's like, your powers needed a spark. And I'm like, okay, so her powers needed a spark, so you treated her like shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to bring her powers back by subjecting her to difficult tests and asking her to do horrible things, like murder a cat.
Yeah.
And he thinks that's what's going to trigger her powers, because he fundamentally misunderstands what makes a human being strong.
Yeah. Because
he is just a garbage person. And I'm just blown away that even in the end, he cannot see that about himself.
Right, and there's Owens is really great in this scene, too.
Owens is fantastic.
Because he's like, oh, well, that went well. Not ominous at all. Because he's like, oh, yeah. and one's there. You opened up a gate, and he's opening there's a dam, and he, like, breaks a pencil, and he's like, and this is what's going to happen to Hawkins. And your friends are in terrible danger. Bye. Like,
and Owens is like, yeah, you did a great job. Really eased her into it.
Really
Not
good
ominous
job.
at all.
And then he's surprised later on when she's like, I need to go help my friends. Like, dude, you literally just told her that they were gonna die.
You're the one who told her they were in danger.
Right.
What did you expect?
What do you think? She's a 14-year-old girl. Her friends are the most important thing in her life. And you're telling her that they're in grave danger, and you don't expect her to be like, well, when can I go?
Yeah, like get me out of here.
Now?
I've got a job to do.
Right.
Okay.
I have a lot of feelings on Papa.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
Anybody who watches this show.
I have a lot coming up too.
Are we going to get to it in this episode?
We might not get to it in this episode.
Okay.
Because you're going to have a little tangent coming up soon.
Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep.
So then we cut back to the Hawkins crew, and Nancy is informing them of everything that Vecna showed her.
And there is much more to it than we actually saw on screen. Because she mentions seeing a bunch of things that we didn't see on screen.
She's like monsters and like a huge monster with like a gaping mouth, which
and an army.
And an arm, which I don't recall seeing at all. So I'm assuming that like that is down the line what's going to start bleeding into Hawkins.
Yeah, I think
after the gates are open.
Those lines are definitely foreshadowing of something we're going to see in season 5 because they didn't show it to us. And I feel like that was a very deliberate choice because they don't know what they want it to look like yet.
Because all they show is basically what we see in the final episode of the season. You know, she says about her mom, and like we see her mom run to get Holly, and like we see the split down the Creel house, and like we see the split in the streets of Hawkins and stuff like that, which we see in the next episode, but we don't see any like monsters.
No, he shows her a lot more. He shows her like where his plans are going down the line after the portal is open.
Like literally everything.
Yeah. Which again could lead to his own downfall.
Right.
Dumb enough to be over dramatic and share all of that with her. Now Elle's going to have that information. Mm-hmm. After they severely weaken him in the end of the season.
They do. He's gonna need a body.
He's gonna need a body.
Anyway, they've come up with the theory about the 4 gates. There's 4 gates across Hawkins. 4, which got us thinking about like the significance of 4. There's 4 gates. He's bringing upon the end of the world.
Hold on to your butts.
And there's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So Zach took a dive.
So, thematically, 4 is a very important number when it comes to death. 4 is, again, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Mm-hmm. But in Asian cultures, 4 is considered unlucky for a couple of different reasons. So, 4 is pronounced she, I believe, which is their word for death.
Okay.
So in a lot of areas in Japan, you straight up won't see 4th floors. I mean, they exist, but like you won't have a number 4
like an elevator.
On an elevator.
Just like we don't have the number 13 here.
Right. Either the elevator will not allow you to go to the 4th floor at all, and you'll need to take stairs from the 3rd or 5th floor, or it'll have a literal F for 4.
Okay.
Also, that originates most likely from Chinese ghost stories around 4, because I think if you trace this all the way, if you trace the idea of 4 being unlucky all the way back, it does go back to China. I guess this isn't as much of a.
It makes me think of Turning Red.
This isn't as much of a tangent as I originally thought, but like
it's interesting though, like the concept of 4.
the idea of
for
4
the end of the world.
Yeah, the idea of 4 is used very much like the way the number 13 is in America. Mm-hmm. It's a bad omen. It's bad things happen around the number. So 4 gates, 4 murders. You know what's funny is that they didn't include like the character 4 in this at all.
Well, because who? No.
It was just a random
just
kid,
a random
but
kid.
Still, thematically, yeah. So I guess there's not much more to say about it other than that, but they're definitely playing with the concept of the number 4 and like the implications of 4 in other cultures.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just thought it was cool. I wanted to talk about it. And then 11 finds them in her little mindy mind.
Yep.
And that's where you find out what their plan is, and their plan is to go back. Right?
Yes.
I mean, it's the following scene. Like, we see her there, and then it goes to them, I believe.
Yeah, well, their plan is to catch Vecna unaware by using Max as bait.
Right, because they know that he is connected to 11, that they both have like a psychic ability, so they know that when he has to do his thing, he's going to be, vulnerable. And they know that because of 11 and how.
Right, they know 11's weaknesses, so they know his weaknesses.
So they know his. And they essentially decide to use Max as bait. And she says something that we talked about a little bit when we were watching it, that she knows that he still wants her because she can feel him.
Yes.
And we were, talking about maybe she's got like that same sense that like Will has.
Uh-huh.
That same connection because she's been quote unquote, and she says it, marked.
I really wish that at that point she like touched the back of her neck the same way Will does.
Right?
That would have
like,
been really cool.
That would have been really cool. Because how else? Like that's got to be it. She's got a connection to the Upside Down now because of that. Mm-hmm. We don't know if she's going to have that moving forward because we really don't know what her future is. But we do know that Will is still somewhat connected
Absolutely.
Because he can feel it once he's back in Hawkins.
Yep. So we have, after this, a little scene in Russia. There's really not much to say here, I don't think.
I wrote something down, and it's my grievance.
Your grievance? Go for it.
My grievance. We're back in Russia, and I feel like there's bigger things at stake right now. Like, we literally, we just saw what the Hawkins crew is planning on doing to, fight Vecna. And then we go back to Russia, and it's not as, like, important to me anymore. Hopper got out. You already killed Hopper once. You're not going to do it again. So, like, why do we have to keep cutting back to them right now?
Yeah. Like,
you're taking away from important things that are happening. I'm not, I losing my interest. And this is, I think I said this before when we first started the season, that, like, the beginning of the Russia story was really interesting. And then once things start to pick up in Hawkins, I'm not really interested in the other places anymore.
Yeah, and we actually differed here because I didn't think the Russia story was interesting at all until we got to, like, Dimitri and Hopper locked up together. Yeah. Like, the Russia story dragged for me.
I'm not saying it didn't drag. I'm just saying, there was a little bit, I was interested to see what was going to happen.
Hop's foot still shouldn't be better.
Hop's foot is gangrenous at this point.
Hop shouldn't even have a foot.
Like, it should be gone. But yeah. So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, my only note about this was that the only person able to scare Yuri was Dimitri.
Yeah, well, because he already screwed him over.
Yeah, he knows how badly he screwed Dimitri over. He's like, I really don't have any leverage with this guy. He would be way too happy to put a bullet in my head.
Yeah.
And then we get the return of the Michael Myers mask.
Well, yeah, because they make plans to go to the war zone. I put Erica is always speaking truths.
Well, because she says that they should probably avoid rednecks.
Oh, right. Angry rednecks with guns or something like that.
Just the facts.
Just the facts. And this is Steal the Winnebago time.
Yep.
And they do. Eddie borrows Max's Michael Myers mask and ever so gracefully breaks into the back window of the Winnebago. so graceful.
Just flopping into the car.
Flops into the car, hot wires it, and this is where we have Joe Quinn, the improv king, coming at it again because the Harringtons got her. Don't you, big boy?
Yep.
Well, not the Harringtons got her, but the Don't You Big Boy was.
Don't you, big boy?
That was That was improvised. That was not
in the script.
And then the freaking chaotic. He's so chaotic. Like just in the backseat, like headbanging as they're trying to drive away. And
Robin with one of the best lines of the episode. God. Well, it's not every day you lose your house and your car.
House and your car at the same time. Because it's got all this couple's like shit is just in the trailer that they're driving away with.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a good scene.
So after this, and I kind of feel like maybe we should end the episode after we talk about this because we're gonna get into our theory about why Vecna chooses his victims here.
Okay. So we go back to Nevada, and 11 confides in Owens that she found her friends and that they are not safe. Because at this point now she knows what's going on because she saw their little
team meeting.
Their little powwow. And she wants to leave. Is this where you want to stop? Because my notes might. Sorry. Pause for dramatic effect. Like, I don't know where you want to stop.
That's exactly what I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about.
Okay, you want to talk about that in here. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Papa tells her that she's not ready because not only does one kill his victims, he consumes them. So, like, everything about them he has in his mind. He
specifically says, and I wrote this down word for word because it pinged in my head, takes their abilities.
Okay.
Like, he did say consume, he said too. Consumes them. But then he's, like, I think right after that, he said the words, takes their abilities. Which means is that very deliberate.
All of the, maybe that, another thought about that, maybe that's why none of the kids have different powers. Because if they had different powers, then he would have all these different powers.
And that would make Vecna more dangerous. Making the show more interesting. Just saying. Just the facts.
Okay, Erica.
Anyway. So, to me, that line and just them really driving home that when Vecna kills you, he doesn't just consume your mind, he takes your abilities. Mm-hmm. To me, this is more proof that the victims he's chosen have latent psychic potential.
Potential. We're not saying
they have powers.
They have powers, but they could have the capacity to have powers.
Exactly. He's very particular about who he picks. He could have killed Nancy, certainly. Mm-hmm. She has trauma. She fits the bill for one of his victims.
Yeah.
Unless there's something else about his victims
that he wants and needs. Yeah.
Maybe they themselves are opening the gates when they die because they have latent psychic abilities. The same way...
You didn't say that to me, that they were the ones opening the gates.
Well...
Dropping bombs in the middle of a recording.
I'm saying that the gates wouldn't open if he killed somebody who didn't have latent psychic abilities.
I understand what you're saying there.
The same way that 11 opened a gate to kill him, 11 opened a gate to kill the Demogorgon, 11 opened a gate by accident.
was she actually doing it, or was the thing that she was, the cause of the gate opening?
Yes. And Demogorgons can open gates on their own.
Mm-hmm. Because they have
They're attached to it. They're attached to Vecna.
Yeah.
So they can make their little gates. I'm just thinking it makes more sense if the people he's targeting had latent psychic potential, and he is adding their power to his own. Because we already know that even with the power of the other, I would say 10, but it's 9 test subjects since 8 got away. It wasn't enough to beat 11. And he is stronger when he faces her as Vecna.
Yeah.
Because he then has the power of the Mind Flayer and the Upside Down, which he took.
All of the Demogorgons, like everything.
Right.
In
the Hive Mind. He has the power of the Hive Mind.
Hive Mind. And
he has the power of the people he's killed up to this point.
Yeah. That's an interesting rock fact.
It's a rock fact. But to me, this also clears up a reason for why 11 could possibly preserve Max's mind before she died. At the end of the season.
Because she was in there?
Because Max has latent abilities.
Oh. Which is probably how she, brought her back.
That's exactly where my head's
Not
at.
because, 11 is a miracle worker.
The second coming.
Right, but because they have Max has, a slight psychic connection. So she was able to kind of, use that.
Yep. That's what I think.
That didn't necessarily bring back her mind, but it was able to get her heart working.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh.
Yeah, you're closer to the mic if you're gonna make I'm thinking noises.
No, that's just I didn't know you kept that from me.
Only a little. We talked about that a bit. We've talked about it on here before. The idea that his victims had latent abilities.
Yeah, but we weren't you didn't go into it as much. We talked about the trauma and then possibly having the latent abilities. But that was.
I didn't mean to spring that on you. This is where my head's at right now.
Wow. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
I should have prepped you before the episode.
I was caught unawares.
All right.
And that's where you want to stop, or do we want to just finish this?
If you have more to say about this scene, go for it.
All I have is basically that, it's kind of really anticlimactic considering what you just talked about, but basically that, oh no, we can stop then, because this is my next note.
Oh, okay.
So we can stop here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good place to pick up in the next episode.
Yeah. So we're gonna stop there.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in an episode in under 40 minutes for once.
Yes. I do want to put because we discussed this before we started recording, so I just want to let everyone know that we are going on vacation in a couple of weeks. So, there will not be an episode on the 6th, correct?
I believe that's right.
That's because, yeah. So there'll be an episode next Sunday, finishing up this.
Yeah, the 6th.
Yeah. So we'll start up with the finale on the 13th.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna be off for a week. So one more episode, and then the second Sunday of August is when we'll start up again.
Oh, and just before signing off, I did grab the first issue of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, we read it.
It's very fun. We'll talk about it when it's done.
Yeah, well, yeah. Because we need to have other things to talk about.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So, signing off from the Hawkins Hellfire Collective, I'm Zach Grubb.
I'm Devin Grubb. Dusty Buns gets it done.